Israeli forces have again opened fire on Palestinians trying to get food in northern Gaza. The crowds come under fire from guns and tanks as they gather to obtain flour on the Rashid Road near Gaza City on Monday. Israeli forces have fired on crowds trying to get aid several times in the past. The UN's food agency says it recently suspended aid deliveries to the north because of the violence. Hani Mahmoud is joining us now from Rafah. So Tariq was just mentioning a moment ago about kind of struggles that people have to try to get humanitarian aid, even if it is airdropped. Don't talk us through what is happening where you are in those efforts to try to get aid.
Yes, Rob. Well, this is not a newly born issue. It has started in the initial weeks of this genocidal war when the Israeli defense minister imposed a total siege across the Gaza Strip, preventing anything from coming into Gaza in terms of food supplies, fuel and medical supplies and other survival items needed. And now coupled with intense bombing campaign, not only we're seeing the great deal of devastation caused by the ongoing bombing, but also the fact that markets are depleted from basic supplies. Hospitals across the Gaza Strip are suffering from extreme shortage of medical supplies and a scarce amount of necessarily and desperately needed amounts of survival items. But also right now, the famine that has been caused by the ongoing bombing campaign have forced people to eat plants and eat animals feed just to stay alive in the northern part and Gaza City, here in overcrowded Rafah city. And not only we're seeing children roaming these rubble-filled roads looking for scraps of food, but at the same time, those who are somehow well off and have the cash flow necessary for buying food struggle to find basic supplies in the market. So it's not an issue for some people. It's not an issue of money as much as the availability of goods in the market. But for the vast majority of people, it's a combined issue with the lack of financial capabilities, but at the same time, the lack of basic supplies. And particularly when we look at the number and the amount of humanitarian aid being allowed into the Gaza Strip, is nothing compared to the actual need that people right now they look forward to having in each passing day just to survive these difficult conditions.
And meantime, of course, the Israeli attacks continue. Talk us through the latest raids.
Well, at this particular time, I can't really recall any draining time more than these hours, as there are growing reports of a potential deal, but at the same time, it's growing threats of a ground invasion to Rafah city, and also reports of Hamas spokesperson talking that this leaked framework is not what the Palestinians are looking forward to having. Just mixed feelings here, optimistic but very cautious about what's going to happen. At the same time, they are enduring intense bombing campaign here in Rafah city and the central area. Just within the past couple hours, we're seeing a surge in the artillery shelling of the eastern part of the central area, including Deir al-Balah, Al-Bureij refugee camp, Al-Maghazi, where more than 10 people reported with different injuries to Al-Aqsa hospital in overnight attacks in Rafah city. 8 people being killed, displaced family included in this attack, and also the children of the owner of the residential homes. Another residential home in Al-Barazir neighborhood, that's the eastern part of Rafah city, where 1 person reported killed and more than 7 injuries also reported to Al-Najjar hospital. Now, there is this cycle of uncertainty, but at the same time, a growing panic and fear as the bombing continues and the killing continues across the strip.
Hani Mahmoud in Rafah. Hani, thank you very much.